Hi, I'm Lee. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're having a lovely day. I'm a short, overweight, middle-aged white dude. I've got thinning brown hair, black glasses, I'm wearing a grey t-shirt, and I'm sitting in my Model Y, and in this video, we're going to take a deeper dive into the Plugshare app. Now, you would have heard me reference the Plugshare app, and I've shown this to you a few times before, but we've never sort of focused on it in a single video, so that's what we're going to do today. The Plugshare app effectively is an app that allows you to see what charges are available around your car or anywhere really. It also allows you to check in to those charges, which means it shows every other user of the app that that charge is being used. There is also a function where you can contact people through the app and sort of go, hey, you're charging here. Are you going to be another half hour, another hour? You know, just let me know if I can come and use it. Or you might say, you know, I notice your car's at 80%. I'm desperate. I need to get somewhere in a hurry. Would you mind coming over and unplugging so I can plug in? What have you. I think as long as everyone's polite and helpful, I think we'll get along just fine. So let's go and have a quick look at the Plugshare app. You open it up, and now you might have some ads on yours. I've actually paid the subscription to use the app without ads. Also, it's because I want to support the app and I want to make sure that they keep going, because I do find it really useful. And you can see if I zoom out of the map here, that green represents AC charges, so those are normally a little bit slower, and a lot of AC charges around are free, for example the ones that I'm at here. And then the orange ones are faster charges. So if I tap on this orange charger over here, in fact let's look at this one over here, BP Pulse Brighton, you can see there that it shows you a couple of photos of it, and this is photos that people have actually uploaded themselves through the app. It shows that you can check in here. It shows you when you last checked in to that location. It shows you a map and shows you directions. I'll cover that in a little bit. It shows you how much the charging costs there. So you can see that there's a fee of 55 cents per kilowatt. The parking is free. It's open 24/7. It's got 75 kilowatt BP Pulse chargers. It tells you what amenities are around. So there's Wi-Fi, dining, restrooms. To be fair, I've been to that BP. I think calling it dining is being a little bit generous there. There's food you could buy at the BP station, but dining is not that fancy. Okay, fair enough. Then it shows you what plugs there are. So it shows you that there's a single CHAdeMO plug and a single CCS plug. And then it shows you what check-ins, and then you can see there that the last check-in was Juan, which was in a Kona Electric on the 24th at 104, and they were getting 43 kilowatts. And actually, if we go to Juan later, it says the station was in use. As EVs become more popular, this becomes a problem. They tried 2 spots before, so they're having some challenges. But it seems like that, and let's see all check-ins, it seems like that charge is actually pretty good in terms of working. Okay, so they're saying that the CCS works, but the CHAdeMO isn't, and the technicians will be working on it. So that's interesting. So let me show you what the check-in process looks like. So let's go and first find a charger that's very close to us. So if we tap on the little sort of navigation triangle in the bottom right hand corner, that shows you exactly where you are, and you can see that we are already at the Marambina Bowls Club, and I am actually checked in here. So if I tap on check out, and then I'm going to check in again, and I'm going to say, yep, I'm charging now. I'm going to give a comment, doing some tests on comments. Will be done in about 40 minutes. I don't know which station I'm using, and I can say that we will not be here for an hour. Let's say we're going to be here for an hour. Yeah, let's say we'll be here for an hour, and the max charge that we got was 11 kilowatts. We go submit, and there we go. We are checked in. Now, I will say with the check-in thing that it is something that you have to remember to do, and I definitely forget sometimes, because maybe I'm late for an appointment or I'm in a hurry, so I park the car, plug in, and then walk away, and I forgot to check in. So it is up to all of us to try and remember to check in, and I understand sometimes we forget, but as much as most of us can do to check in, it's going to make the whole thing a lot more comfortable and pleasant for all of us. So if you can remember to check in, please do. In terms of the messaging function, so actually let's see if I can message myself. So let's say you were someone else and you came here and you tapped on there. No, it's not going to let me message myself, but I can delete or edit that message. But if you wanted to message someone, you tap on their check-in and you can see there in the top left-hand side underneath their name, it says message. So you tap on message and then you can type a little message to them and go, hey, just got here. How long are you going to be, what have you, so you can always, please always be polite and courteous. I'm sure we all will be, but yeah, you get more honey with not a stick. No, you get more bees. Jeez, I stuffed that one up. You get more bears with honey than bees, but I mean, I don't know why you'd want to catch a bear, so it's a silly phrase anyway, but you know what I mean. If you want to see the photos without scrolling through them one at a time, you can go down to the bottom and then you can tap through the photos. Now, I actually find the photos super helpful because very often signage around EV chargers is not great. And so being able to look at photos and get a visualization of where the chargers are in relation to the space around them, yeah, I find the photos really helpful. And that's pretty much most of what people will look at when they're looking at the Plugshare app. The last thing I want to show you is how to share the directions that you get with your car if you're driving a Tesla. Now, I'd imagine some other cars have this function as well, but I drive a Tesla. Let me show you how to do it with a Tesla. So let's say I want to go to Malvern Central. So I tap on Malvern Central and I tap on the map over there. And then if you down towards the bottom, you see it says Get Directions. So I tap on Get Directions, and we could use Apple Maps, Google Maps, what have you. I'm going to say Apple Maps. And there we go. It's going to show me directions in my Apple Maps. And if you're using a car that has Apple CarPlay, you could then just use this to get directions there. But, for example, in a Tesla, you don't have CarPlay. So if I tap on the X, it closes that, but it keeps the directions. So if I then tap on the little share icon towards the center right-hand side of my screen, it then shows me a bunch of options in terms of places or people I can share that to. And one of those options is Tesla. So if I tap on Tesla and then have a look on my screen here, you can see that it's brought up the navigation for there, and I can just select those and say, yep, navigate to there, and away you go. So a nice easy way to share the directions from Plugshare with your car if you're driving a Tesla, which just FYI, just quick, something that I noticed. Now I noticed this when I was driving the Model S, but it wasn't in the Y, and this came, I think, in the last update. When you've got navigation now, the navigation will show you round trip estimate of your battery percentage, which it's not a big deal, but it's nice that they've added that in for the Model Ys and I presume the Model 3s as well. So it's a nice little touch. So that's the basics of how Plugshare works. And I'll give you an example of how I used it just recently. I was in the Sunshine Coast last weekend where it was sunny, not like here in Melbourne where it's not sunny, and what I could do, I was there for a job, and I was renting it at 03 while I was up there, and so I could easily just open up Plugshare before we went there, go to where I was staying, and I could see what charges were going to be around the area that I was staying, so I could just do a little bit of pre-planning in case I didn't end up needing a charger, but if I needed one, I could do that. So that's the basics of Plugshare, but let's have a look at some of these other buttons, which I don't know about you, but I don't think I've really pushed the other buttons much. So let's have a look at trips. And you can see that I've pre-built 2 trips already, but I'm going to build one for you here. So if I tap on plus, it asks you what vehicle, and you put the vehicle in your settings and goes vehicle range. I'm going to say, I reckon my range, let's say it's 350. And starting vehicle range, yeah, 370, what have you. And we will start at my current location. And then, no. Destination, let's go to Brisbane Road, Brisbane, and we'll start at our current location, and we say find routes, and there we go. It's gone and found 2 possible routes, either Pacific Motorway or Newell. So let's go the scenic route along the coast. We tap continue, and there we go. It's shown us what charges are along the way. So let's go ahead and select, and it shows us the range. So you see that 407 is predicting that we'll need 407 kilometers range to get to that one, 307. So let's go, let's say we're going to stop in Albury, and so we tap on the charge in Albury, and it says, yep, that's the rooftop one. Yep, so we say add trip. And then it shows us the next ones, and let's say we're going to get as far as Goulburn. I think this is a bit ambitious, but anyway, so we go, yep, add trip. And then it shows us the next stage, and let's say, let's stop in wherever that is. Yep, add to trip. And then let's stop in Port Macquarie, add to trip. And I'll just get through this as quick as I can so we can see what it looks like when we complete the trip. Yep, well, no, we don't want to go off the motorway. And it shows us red, where it's kind of going, that's a bit ambitious. So let's say we're going to go there. Yep, add to trip. And then it's got save trip. Here we go, save trip. And there we go. So now it's set up that trip for us with all those charging locations along the way. But now what do we do with it? Okay, so there we can see a filter in terms of what charges to show us. And then I wonder, is there a way to do navigation on this? No. Okay, so it's just going to show you the charges along the way. Oh, look, so you can tap on that and then, see, and then share it. So it's, see, I like this, how it warns us, Tesla drivers only in red there. So that's obviously the Tesla superchargers, and it's going, hey, just FYI, if you're not on Tesla, ain't gonna work there. So look, if you've used a better route planner, and I'll probably do a video focusing on a better route planner on its own as well, this doesn't replace a better route planner, but if you wanted to use this, it works. That's kind of cool. So okay, so that's the trip function. You've got bookmarks. You can bookmark certain charges. If there's charges you use very often, you can bookmark them. That'll show you all your information. So for example, messages, if you've messaged anyone back and forth, which I haven't, you've got trip planner, and you can see there's the trips that I've set up. Alerts, charge history, activity, add to home, destinations. This is all fairly self-explanatory. I do want to show you this thing down here at the bottom where I didn't realize this was here until I started doing pushing buttons to research for this video. If you tap on leaderboards, they've gamified charging. So you can see who's charged, who's checked in the most, who's checked in to the furthest, scouts. I mean, this is, look, it's a little bit silly, but it's kind of cool as well. So, why not? So that's your leaderboard, gamifying it a bit. And you can see all of your check-ins. So there, I've checked in at this particular location. And that's sort of most of what I want to show you. Now, you can set up a location. So if you tap on the little button in the top left-hand corner, this is to add a station yourself. And this is one of the challenges, that sometimes there's stations, charging stations, show up in here that you tap on and you go that's a private house. I don't know who added that. So please be nice when you're setting these up. But yeah, so that's pretty much that. But I did want to show you one other thing, which is not ideal, but I just want to show you that it's possible. So Plugshare is also a website. So I had this idea of, well, what if I went onto the browser on my Tesla and bookmarked Plugshare? And there's Plugshare on the browser on my Tesla. Now, the thing is, it doesn't plug in, if you'll pardon the awful pun, with the navigation. It doesn't plug in with the GPS. So the Plugshare here doesn't know where I am, and it can't do excuse me, directions and navigation, all that sort of stuff. But if you wanted to, and where I think this might be useful is, let's say, for example, I use Optus with my phone, and let's say I'm in a place where I can't get a signal on my Optus phone, but I need to find out where a charger is. And I believe the Teslas do use they use Telstra for their SIM cardy thing. So this would work, whereas my phone in an Optus place may not work. So you could use that to find chargers nearby you. Which, FYI, that one in Sandown, I know, I've tried it. That's behind a locked gate, so I should probably put a note in there. Also, something interesting that I noticed with this is that it still has the ads come up sometimes, even though I'm logged in to my profile and I pay the subscription to not get the ads. Not a big deal, but just something a bit odd that I noticed. So there you go. So that's a deeper dive and look into the Plugshare app. I hope that was helpful. I hope that was useful. If there's anything I've left out or anything that you would have wanted me to cover that I haven't covered, please let me know down in the comments, and I'll see if I can maybe do a short or something about it to cover those things. But I think that's most of what we know in the Plugshare app. I hope that was helpful. I hope that was useful. If you have found this helpful, please like and subscribe, and yeah, please share this. I'd really like to get my subscriber numbers up, so it really helps the channel to get more visibility. The more subscribers we have, the more visibility we get, and we grow, and it's exponential, all that sort of jazz. So yeah, please like and subscribe. If you have already subscribed, thank you so much for your support, and we'll catch you on the next one. Safe and happy driving. Okay. It definitely... Okay, it definitely doesn't... Wait, where am I? Norths? Okay, I found a charger in... Okay, let's try that again, because I found a charger in Sydney, in Canada. Look, I understand the whole imperial thing, and England ruled, you know, Britannia ruled the waves and everything, but the fact that we have the same name for places in different countries. In fact, there's a Melbourne in Florida. Anyway, let's try that again. So let's go back, and go back, and go back, and go back, and let's just go and find... what have I done? Hang on. No, don't Google Maps. Oh, I'm in Google Maps. Why am I in Google Maps? So here is the charge. Here... Let's try that again. Calm down, go slow, chill out. Yeah, you can, but don't.